Coming up on The Report, November 3rd is right around the corner. Listen to what voters had to say about this year's election. Plus, hear how teachers are affected by the pandemic and how the school year will look different than ever before. And learn how cheer teams have managed to practice from home with the current COVID-19 restrictions. Welcome and thank you for joining us at The Report. I'm Aranda.
And I'm Vanessa Castaneda. The Report is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. The weather has been out of control lately and is starting wildfires in the area. The howling Santa Ana winds sparked up a blazing fire in Silverado Canyon near Irvine on Monday morning. Officials say the firefighters are taking advantage of the settling weather to put out the burning of over 13,000 acres of land. Only 5% has been contained. Nearby residents were evacuated from their homes as the battle continues against the strong, dry winds.
Just days before the election, Judge Amy Coney Barrett was sworn into the Supreme Court. For weeks, Democrats fought to keep the position open until after the election. But President Trump and Republicans were quick to fill the position. After a 4-day confirmation hearing in the Senate, Justice Barrett was confirmed with a 52-48 vote. Justice Barrett will serve as the 115th Supreme Court Justice, replacing the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and changing the foundation of the court to favor the conservative vote in a 6-3 majority. In the past, Justice Barrett has been known to vote conservatively on topics concerning gun rights, immigration, abortion, and gay marriage. With the election right around the corner, I got a chance to meet up with voters and hear their opinions about this very important year. Social injustice, peaceful protest, riots, and looters. These are just some of the headlines leading today's news. From Portland to Florida, people are showing up in large numbers to express their views. But how did things get this way? And what does this mean for the future of our country? Voting will take on a different look than years past. With rising cases of COVID-19, polling stations like the Forum in Inglewood have taken several safety precautions to keep voters safe. Line spacers keeping voters socially distanced while they wait to vote, and a sanitation station set up to keep the area clean. Many people disagree with the Democratic nominee Joe Biden and still believe that President Trump is the best option for the country.
I don't know. I think with all things going on right now, we can't afford to have someone too soft in office.
With tensions continuing to rise, some voters share their concerns about the current state of the country.
It's a lot of black, whites, everybody fighting and killing.
Others believe some are taking advantage of a bad situation.
You know, they want to burn down the cities and all that. And you know, you can't shake hands with someone who's making a fist, and that's what a soft leader would want to do.
And with this year's election being so important, some voters shared their thoughts on describing the election and how this year has been so different.
Well, it's a really important time. You know, as an African American, I'm very concerned about what the future looks like. I know the black people are voting because of that, because the future is very tenable right now.
In a year that has been so chaotic and unpredictable, from the global pandemic to the social injustices happening on our home soil, people are just hoping to return to their daily lives. Voting locations will look different from anything seen before. Some major sports venues, such as the iconic Dodger Stadium, or even the all-new SoFi Stadium right behind me, have been setting up its polling locations. This year's election could be the largest turnout of voters the country has ever seen. For The Report, I'm Aranda.
The U.S. has reached a record-breaking number of COVID-19 cases, passing the highs of the summer season. On Friday, the U.S. reported 83,000 new cases, the most in a single day. Across the country, numbers are steadily rising. On average, 70,000 new cases are reported daily. According to the NPR analysis, the daily average case count increased by 41% than 2 weeks ago. Health experts warn these numbers could rise through the winter season as the cold and dry weather help the virus spread. And with the holiday season coming up, an increase in traveling and gatherings is expected to contribute to the rise. The winter wave is expected to hit harder than those of spring and summer. Health experts urge individuals to continue to wear face masks, social distance, and hold back on large gatherings. With the rise of COVID-19 cases across the country, other health conditions have become a second thought. Our reporter Samantha Aguilar is in Temecula to show how the city keeps their community well informed. Which finger do you want to hurt today?
This line of cars is not waiting to get COVID-19 tested, but they are here for a different medical procedure. While COVID-19 continues to be the biggest health crisis of the year, it is only the third leading cause of death in the United States, falling behind heart disease and cancer.
Do you have diabetes?
Still, chronic diseases can be prevented with physical activity, healthy eating habits, and proper screening. For the city of Temecula, it starts here. For the past decade, the city of Temecula has hosted their annual Health and Wellness Fair. This year, with the pandemic in full effect, the city is preparing to continue the tradition.
We wanted to remain consistent with it, and so even if that means that it's going to look a little bit different and function a little bit different, we wanted to make sure that we were holding it. We've kind of tried to make sure that we have a good mix of organizations and agencies here to utilize the resources in our community.
While the fair is functioning a bit different this year, that isn't stopping vendors from showing up for their community. Vendors handed out everything from candy to breakfast, gift baskets, and even dental kits.
There's a lot of services that are, I didn't even know that were available. I am thrilled. Temecula deciding to still host while COVID is active is great.
The city also teamed up with Temecula Valley Hospital to provide screening services. Now, more than ever, Americans should be monitoring chronic diseases as they intensify effects of COVID-19 and increase chances of death.
Today, we are offering free blood sugar checks and free blood pressure checks so that patients will be able to take that to their primary doctor and see if they need any other additional treatment.
Community leaders not only hope to bring awareness to general health care and chronic diseases, but also uniting community members during times of isolation.
I love it. We're able to get out and connect with our community, especially, I think, more than ever during these times where we've had to change things up with community outreach. I think we need to continue to do these health fairs.
Keeping safety in mind, they continue to plan future events that will further benefit residents. From Temecula, California, I'm Samantha Aguilar.
On a lighter note, the Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions for the first time in 32 years. After winning Game 6 in the Fall Classic by a score of 3-1 over the Tampa Bay Rays, the Boys in Blue are champions once again. Los Angeles was down 1-0 early in the first inning, when Rays pitcher Blake Snell was removed after giving up a single in the 6th. That would lead to the Dodgers plating 2 runs after a Mookie Betts double. Betts would homer in the bottom of the 8th, giving the Dodgers a 3-1 lead, and that would be all the Dodgers needed to secure their 7th championship. This is the 2nd championship for Los Angeles, as the Lakers secured their 17th championship less than 2 weeks ago. Still to come, how are students managing to work during the pandemic? And later, hear about the latest Bachelorette drama that has fans shocked.
Tropical storm Zeta hit Alabama yesterday, shutting off power to thousands of homes and businesses. The landfall spinned across New Orleans with winds as high as 110 miles per hour, eventually weakened to 60 miles an hour. According to the National Hurricane Center advisory, the storm left at least 1 person dead and created $5 billion worth of damage. President Trump declared a state of emergency for Mississippi. New Orleans officials say there has yet to be any major flooding, as the city has only 2 to 3 inches of rain.
Being in control is hard to do when battling the fierce winds that blow through Palm Springs. Big rig trucks could not resist the thrust against the strong winds and have tipped over on the Interstate 10. Other vehicles on Highway Drive with caution. As accidents resulted in hazardous fluid leaks, the strong winds are so strong, trees have fallen over the top of an apartment complex. Damages also included a parked vehicle in a caved-in parking structure. No injuries were reported. Students are worried that the pandemic will hurt their ability to get a job after graduating. Anthony Robledo has more on the story.
In addition to making the entire campus virtual, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought upon a very sluggish job market. For students about to graduate, this is very concerning.
Cal State Fullerton seniors made the decision to go to college years ago in the hopes of getting their dream job. Now they must adjust to the reality that their degree might not ensure career safety. From finding virtual internships to considering a gap year, the uncertainty students face can be overwhelming. Career specialist Chandra Ishisaka spoke about the issues students face. She said there are a lot of entry-level job openings for recent graduates with a science degree.
Overall, there just has been a decrease in job posting.
Chandra says that students should speak to a specialist of their major and navigate the job searching process together. Students should also attend workshops and seek opportunities virtually.
It's really important to kind of really reach out to your community and ask for help. And so, a lot of students have been emailing me or setting up appointments with me. And so I'm a great resource.
Shisaka said networking virtually is very difficult, making it crucial that students follow up with company recruiters and ask for opportunities.
I was already scared before this happened, but I think it's even scarier now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Now I'm working at Party City, and I don't know, $13 an hour isn't cutting it. So, I was looking forward to graduating and finally being able to get the job that I wanted. But seeing how bad the job market's going to be or is right now, I'm really nervous about that.
During these challenging times, it's important to remember that the pandemic is only temporary, while your degree is not. Hang in there, Titans. This is Anthony Robledo, The Report.
While college students work their way through an online year, they've managed to maintain politically active. According to the California Secretary of State, college voter registration has already tripled from the 2016 election. Although college students are infamously known for failing to come to the polls, a sudden wave of activism and greater push from politicians might change that. Both Republican and Democratic college students are making an effort to increase voter turnout. Many say the use of social media platforms make it easier to shape voting resources. In addition to that, it's become trendy to be active, creating a new sense of pressure to turn into a ballot. Only around 21,000 California college students voted in 2016, but 65,000 are registered to vote on November 3rd. Students in the Fullerton School District are transitioning from online to hybrid learning, and educators are still adjusting. I got a chance to speak with a couple of teachers at Ladera Vista Junior High. Teachers invest a lot of time and overcome challenges to adjust to the school's new hybrid schedule.
Probably the biggest challenge is we don't really get to do the collaborative work that science is really made for. What should have been a hands-on demo with groups of 4 was kids just watching me on my document camera up on the TV, manipulating different objects, and they're writing their observations down. So it's everybody's having to adjust.
Students participate in COVID screenings and continue to be 6 feet apart.
The way I have it set up, I have the students in the room, but I also have another monitor on my desk where I can see the students, try to make sure I'm glancing at them at home and here in person.
Students are divided into 3 cohorts. Cohort A and B meet twice a week, and Cohort C is strictly online.
We also have a group of students that are here 5 days a week. Their families needed them to be at school all 5 days, but they're assigned to either Cohort A or B, and their off days, instead of being at home, they're in the gym or the multi-purpose room, distance learning, zooming in with their teachers.
Many parents and guardians found this to be very beneficial.
The benefits for me is that I get to go to work 5 days a week. If the kids weren't going to school 5 days a week, I wouldn't have an at-home job, so I don't know what we would do.
The staff take many safety precautions, such as disinfecting the rooms after each class.
I wear my face mask, and then, as you can tell, you can hear me fine. But then when I'm talking to students, I'll put my visor on, so it'll be kind of double. But it is uncomfortable, but you kind of get used to it after a while.
Teachers everywhere continuously sacrifice so much to provide their students with the best possible education, especially during these circumstances. In Fullerton, I'm Vanessa Castaneda with The Report. Coming up, how much damage can your iPhone 12 take? Find out after the break. The iPhone 12 has undergone its ceramic shield coverage and is now available for purchase. Apple has claimed that it will make for a scratch-free surface. Customers have put it to the test while using screws and any kind of metal. This is to ensure it stays scratch-free afterwards. Another big difference in this model is the screen. Apple claims to have created screens with nano-ceramic crystals in the glass to ensure top-tier durability. Now it's time to see what's happening in Hollywood with Nylene Garcia.
I'm Nylene Garcia, and here is what's happening in Hollywood. Here we go, Lovatics. Demi Lovato has been announced as the 2020 E! People's Choice Awards host. E! Entertainment took to Twitter to announce the news. The network tweeted, We can keep a secret, could you, at DD Lovato? Any plans on Sunday, November 15th? Demi tweeted back, IDK, ... maybe hosting at People's Choice, #PCAs. The show will take place on Sunday, November 15th, live from the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, only on E! Bachelor Nation. As Chris Harrison just about says every season, this might be the most dramatic season yet. But it seems like this time he truly means it. The trailer for next week's episode of ABC's The Bachelorette ends with Tayshia Adams coming out of the pool. You can catch all new episodes of Tayshia's season of The Bachelorette on ABC 7 every Tuesday. You can find the stars at the polls this election day.
Some celebrities have already documented on social media that they have casted their early vote. This will be the biggest push in voting we have seen from artists, actors, influencers, and more. Adam and Vanessa, back to you.
On the big stage, the Rams secured a big win on Monday Night Football. Looking to rebound from a disappointing Week 6 loss to the San Francisco 49ers, the Rams came out ready to play as they took on the Chicago Bears. The Bears entered the contest 5-1 as they boasted one of the best defenses in the league. LA would march down the field early in the first quarter to score a quick 7 points over Chicago. Early in the second quarter, the Bears would score a field goal to cut the Rams' lead to 4. LA's defense would buckle down and not allow the Chicago offense another point. The Bears did score on a fumble recovery late in the fourth quarter, but it would be too late as the Rams would win by a score of 24-10. The Rams improved to 5-2 and remain in the hunt for a playoff spot. Many high school sports have been struggling with the transition to online practices. Let's turn it to Nylene Garcia and see how Ayala High School's cheer team has been handling their season.
What was once a cheer field stadium on Friday Night Lights now lies an empty football field day to day with no staff or students in sight. Ayala High School's cheer team has made do and transitioned to online practices in order to be prepared for anything to come.
We have to teach all the freshmen, and we have one new sophomore. We have to teach them dances over Zoom and kind of just tell them we have to show them a picture of their formations and be like, you're right here, you're next to this person. And it's definitely really difficult, and it would be a lot easier if we were in person.
Being captain, in practices, typically I would gather everyone up, I would go over dances, I would warm everyone up. But being in my room, on Zoom during practice, I'd be spotlighted, and then it's just quiet on mute, no one's talking, and I just have to stand in front of my camera and expect everyone to follow me.
The girls are not the only ones missing their cheer experience.
I really miss being with the other moms in the stands and just watching the girls do what they love and seeing them perform and seeing all their hard work pay off.
One thing I really miss are performing the dances, our touchdown dances. Every time the football players would score, we would perform a dance. And I miss the crowd cheering us on and everybody else on. And that's one thing that's been a really big part of my high school experience.
Now, the only known fact is that when football players do return to the field, cheerleaders and fans will be the last to follow. In the meantime, you could say the girls are sitting or cheering tight as they prepare for their hopefully delayed football season. From Ayala High School, Bulldog Stadium, I'm Nylene Garcia, The Report.
Thank you for tuning in. That is our news for today. From all of us at The Report, I'm Vanessa Castaneda.
And I'm Aranda, and we hope you had a great rest of your day.